Hi guys, it's Izzy and welcome back. And I just want to say I wasn't feeling too good this morning when I got up. I felt very emotional and I sort of had almost like a meltdown. All my emotions came up and I cried a lot. I felt very, very empty and very, very tired emotionally and very sad. And this is the hard part. And you know, divorce is a hard thing in itself. Um, but a lot of people on YouTube, they focus more on the legal aspect, the paperwork, what to do, what not to do. And there isn't really that much, I think, when it comes to the emotional side of the human being. And at the moment, I feel like I'm a wreck. I don't even know how I function, how I can be I can be normal, I can go about my normal activities. But on the other hand, it's probably a good thing, because if I didn't have these activities, I would probably be a mess, and it would be much worse. So that's it. I'm thinking a lot, and I'm thinking a lot about how it came to this, how what made me decide to leave my ex, and why did I put myself in this situation, which is really, really hard. And it's almost like I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now. I only see sadness and despair and loneliness, and it's just awful. And even though I was lonely in my marriage, at least there was someone there. And now I feel that there's no one there. And last year my mum passed on, and I often think about her now. It's like I'm just starting to grieve her loss, and I didn't really have much time to grieve because so much was going on at the time. The family was divided after her passing. Two of my siblings fought against the other three, and it was like a big war, and we were all caught in it. And there wasn't much time to sit down and really think about the loss of our mother. And even though I didn't have a very good relationship with my mum, I still loved her, and just knowing that she was there was a consolation and a relief. And it was almost like an oasis, knowing that she was there. Now this is not there anymore. And I find that almost my life has lost its direction. I don't know where I'm going right now. And I feel that I have maybe made the wrong decision, and maybe I shouldn't have left my husband. On the other hand, I know that I was very unhappy, and he was abusive emotionally. He was a gaslighter, and my adult daughter actually pointed that out, because I said to her, Jane, do you think that Joe is a narcissist? And she said, well, Mum, I don't really know much about narcissism, but what I know is that he's a gaslighter, and he's always used to gaslight you, and always used to say, oh, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting, I didn't mean it that way, you interpreted it wrong, and I didn't say this, or I didn't even do this, and you made this up. And always making me doubt my sanity, and not really taking me seriously. And that's what I still feel now. I still feel that he's not taking me seriously. Even now that I am divorcing him, he's still not taking me seriously. And we had a bit of an exchange of text messages yesterday, which was a bit of a mistake on my behalf, because I got caught in, and I got enmeshed in this in this emotional exchange, I would say. And he was saying basically, oh, how can you do this to us? We're now getting old, and we need each other, and our families need us, and I don't understand why you're doing this. And it's like, hang on, there is a reason why I'm doing this, and the reason is you. And even now he has no insight into what's happening with me. He had no insight how I felt when we were still together. And so many times I said to him, Joe, I really want us to spend more time together. I want us to go out more. I want us to, go on holidays, or I just want us to go out maybe for dinner, or I don't know. It was always, no, his priority was his work. And his brother once said to me, do you know what? Joe is married to his work, and that's true. His work is his wife and his money. And he wasn't interested. My ex wasn't interested in building that connection and maintaining that connection, that that bond. Why do people go on holidays? It's not to enjoy the scenery or to do tourism, or it is part of the reason why they do it, but it's also because they want to bond. They want to bring that relationship back together, because when you're in a rut, in a routine where you're always working, eating, sleeping, and maybe you go to the gym or whatever you're doing, it's very repetitive, and you just the relationship just falls apart. You there's a distance between you that creeps up between you. But when people go on holidays, that's how I imagine it, because he's never taken me on holidays. The only time we went away was, I think that was 2009. We went to Bali for 4 days because his daughter was getting married, and he didn't even want me to come with him. He didn't want any of us to come with him, which was very selfish. And then the other time was in 2015, when my mum got sick for the first time, and she had breast cancer, and I thought she wouldn't have long to live, and we decided to go over there to Europe and visit her and spend some time with her. And these were the only times we went, and it wasn't really a holiday as such, because there was a reason. Each time there was a reason behind it, and an urgency to do this, because the people needed us. The first time it was his daughter's wedding, and where I was really treated like an outsider, I must say. I wasn't really treated very well. And the second time, when my mum got sick, because she needed us and she needed me, she needed to see me. And we went on a bit of a trip, because I have some friends in France and I have family in Germany. So we went on a little trip and visited some friends. And it was very, very enjoyable, and I think even he enjoyed it. But after that, he never... And I said, we should do this again. We should go somewhere. We should... But no, he didn't want to. So, and then COVID came, and it wasn't a possibility anyway, because in Australia, we're still not allowed to leave the country. So it was out of the question. And so I felt that over the years, he hasn't done much to maintain that connection that we had, that loving bond. And another thing was what I've already said before, the intimacy side of it. He wasn't interested in that. So it was always me pursuing him and asking him, when are we going to have sex? Do you want to have sex on a Sunday? Because that was the only day he would agree to it, and it was the only day I had a chance for him to cooperate, because to me he saw it as a burden and as something he did now and again to please me and to shut me up, but it wasn't really something he enjoyed himself. So I was the only one who enjoyed it, and that made me feel very lonely as well. And I understand that maybe people don't have very high sex drive, or libido is not there anymore, but you can just lie in bed and have a cuddle. You don't really need that the genitals against gender, I don't know what you call it. It's not the most important. The most important is that connection that happens when two people are vulnerable together and in bed and naked. And another thing, he hated taking his clothes off. When he was making love, he wouldn't take his clothes off. And I just don't get it. And all this time living like this, I was becoming very unhappy, but he always made me feel that I had no reason to be unhappy. I had no reason, and that's another thing. Even now, in his mind, I have no reason to be unhappy, and I told him all this, and these are not, to him, that's not even a reason. And he's always made me feel like I'm the crazy one. I'm insane, and a lot of the times I doubt myself. I even doubt my reality. I don't feel connected to my reality a lot of the times, and I feel dissociated. I feel like I'm in a different dimension. I'm in a different universe. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm not crazy. I know that for sure. And yeah, and so this morning I was very, very sad, and I was crying. I was going to the shops to get some groceries for my daughter because I won't be there this afternoon, and this evening I'll be at work, and she will need some food. So I bought her some ready meals. I put them in the fridge, and she can just warm them up. We don't have a microwave yet, but I told her just put it in a pan and warm it up like that. So I hope she'll be all right with that. And another thing, we got the Wi-Fi box, and my daughter, the 15-year-old, and my sons that are adults, Michael is 28 and Bradley is 20. They love having Wi-Fi at home. So I got it organized. They delivered the box, but I have no idea how to connect it up. And I rang an overseas number, and they started to explain things to me, and I just broke down. I started crying, and I couldn't understand anything. I was just like, I just couldn't understand a word of what this lady was telling me. And it wasn't because she had an accent or anything. It was just like my mind couldn't comprehend things. And then I started crying, and then my son saw me, and I think he got a bit worried and he got a bit scared. So he said, and then he rang his brother, and he said, "Oh, Mum's a bit upset. She's because of the Wi-Fi." And it's not like I don't care about the Wi-Fi. It's for them to use. I just use the data on my phone. I'm quite happy with that. I don't even need Wi-Fi. But I think my son Bradley got very worried, and he rang his brother, and he said, "Oh, Mum's upset." And then it created a bit of a drama. And then Michael rang me and said, "Oh, I'm working and I haven't really got time to connect up the Wi-Fi." And I said, "Look, there's no rush. We can do that on the weekend. It's not an urgent matter, and let's not stress about this, and just let's wait for the weekend." So I have this immense sadness. It's like something has been ripped out of me, like my insides, everything is raw and bleeding. My heart is bleeding, and I don't know if I've made the biggest mistake of my life, or if I'm doing the right thing. But I know I couldn't continue that way. I couldn't continue in that marriage. I couldn't continue the way it was. I was just too unhappy, and I was always numbing myself with all sorts of painkillers and all sorts of things. And I just decided I couldn't live like that anymore. So thank you for listening to me again. I'm rambling a lot, but I don't really know how to. My brain is just like all over the place at the moment, and I'm actually glad I'm going to work this afternoon, because it gives me a focus and it gives me something to concentrate on, and I don't have to think so much. I just want to stop thinking for a while and just live my normal life, my normal everyday life, which will never be the same anymore. And I really don't know where I'm going from here. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep the lawyer, or if I'm going to not work with her. I don't know. I need more time to decide. I need a bit of time to reflect and to find out what's the best way to do this. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I'll be with you soon again. Bye.